Hey everybody, we're talking about form again today, and I'm going to be doing one of our leg exercises from Sail. We're going to talk about that back knee bend. This can also be known as a knee flexion. So we're flexing this nice big back muscle in our thigh and pulling that knee up toward us. If I were to equate that a little bit with what we do with our arms, you might think a little bit about when we do this bicep curl with our arms. We're flexing our muscle here and pulling that arm up. So just kind of think of that and how it relates to this action that we're doing with our back knee bend or knee flexion exercise. Important things to remember here are that, again, feet shoulder width apart. The most important thing to watch form-wise with this exercise is the placement of the knees, and especially in that raised position. As I start, my knees are even with one another. And when I start the action for this, I want to make sure that action is just lifting my knee up and then going back down. What we often see from participants in this is that they initiate that movement not from lifting here and back down, is they think of it more of lifting in their hip forward first, and you can see how my knee is coming forward first, and then I'm pulling up my heel. When I do that, and I'm going to stand sideways a little more, you can see that my knees now, my knee with my weight on it is coming much farther forward, and it's at an angle. Wore my nice striped pants again for you today. Instead of straight and in a 90-degree angle. So my incorrect form and correct position, when I'm in a lifted position for this and my foot is at a 90-degree angle, you can see straight down, straight back for that 90 degree. Not this, where my knee is coming forward. Kind of a tricky thing that I have found is trying to get people to do that exercise properly. And a couple ways that you might emphasize that is for people to try to really keep their thighs close together when they're doing that exercise. You might even tell people, if they can, to imagine they're holding something. My standard is always that $100 bill. I'm gonna hold the $100 bill here between my thighs, and I want that to stay in place as I lift and lower. If I go forward, that money's gonna fall right through the cracks. So again, I'm gonna stand forward here, standing nice and tall as always, thinking those shoulder blades tucked in your back pocket, and I'm gonna lift up, one, hold, down, one, rest, up, two, hold, down, two, rest. I'm gonna turn a little slightly sideways. We're gonna try to see this from as many angles as we can. Up, three, hold, down, three, rest, up, four, hold, down, four, rest. I'm gonna pivot again. Up, five, hold, down, five, rest, and up, six, hold, down, six, rest. So again, the important thing is that the initial reaction to do this, if I think of it in slow motion, I want to keep my knees aligned. I'm going to start by just lifting my heel, not lifting my knee forward. Another way to really emphasize this with your participants is to have everybody hold that leg up in that 90-degree angle, look down, and ask them if their knees are parallel rather than having one knee out forward from the other. And it's the one that's lifting, of course, with the weight on it, that would be adjusted forward. We want that back. It might be argued that when you come back down, rather than coming all the way to this position, you might emphasize that if you stand here And I'm gonna take one little step back with that foot that has the weight on that I'm lifting before I even begin. It's a little bit better position. So now when I lift and lower, when I come down, you can see my feet don't come back to a parallel position. This again really helps to make sure that that alignment is proper as I'm lifting and I'm lowering. Very important muscle for many activities that we do during our day. So this is a great exercise to get that knee flexion in. Think even just of walking up and down stairs every day, how that action with our knees and having that strong muscle here is important. Lifting anything in the proper lifting position when I'm going down to lift something up. Of course, I'm bending at the knee and I'm using these muscles when I'm gonna lift something up rather than lift over this way, obviously, really bad for your lower back. So this knee flexion or standing back knee bend is helping with many of our everyday activities. As always, I hope that you have found our form and taking some of these exercises and breaking them down a little bit helpful. Thank you.